Hello, one and all. This is my review, reaction, and cut content discussion of That Time Incarnate Slime Season 3, Episode 12. And this episode, we're going back to meetings. Huzzah! But very different meetings, as Rimuru is planning for this giant Tempest founding festival to basically announce to the world, hey, I'm a demon lord, but I'm a nice demon lord. Oh, this is going to be fun, especially because if it follows the route at the end of the light novel, we're going to see one of my favorite characters in this series, good old Molly, who I have a full rant planned on when we actually see him. Oh, I can't wait for that. Alright, let's get started in 3, 2, 1.
Tempest 開国祭の開催日が正式決定した。
Oh god, poor Rigard. Seriously, I mean, let's not forget, 2-3 years ago, this dude was a goblin chief living in a little shack of a building that barely stood straight and would fall over in a strong wind. And now this man is writing letters to royalty, to basically every royal in the world. Or at least in the West, but seriously, how this man has risen up through the ranks over the years is absolutely freaking insane. Good for you, Rigard. Absolutely good for you.
たちもそれぞれ何かしらの企画を発表することになっている。
So, we're doing something interesting here. We really are. I know there's a lot of complaints, first half of the season. It's like, oh, they're just sitting around in meetings over and over again, and that's so boring. There should be a more dynamic way of showing things. And this is already way more dynamic than the light novel, with Rimuru actually going around and talking to people. Very interesting. And, while we're talking about growth, let's not forget that Gabiru over here, when we first met him, he was an absolute idiot with an entourage just shouting his name over and over again. This man lost in a goddamn fight to Gapta, then got a whole bunch of his people eaten after he performed a coup, and now he's a freaking researcher, along with Vesta, who, when we first met him, he was literally pouring alcohol out on Rimuru, got his butt kicked, and then framed Rimuru in a sham trial. And now he's one of Rimuru's top executives, along with Gabiru, both people who try to pick a fight with him when they first met him. God, I love the growth in this series, seriously. Yeah, Kurobe is without a doubt one of the greatest blacksmiths in the entire freaking world, and the swords and armor he's going to show off are literally going to blow the minds of pretty much everybody. I mean, he can already basically make legend class or unique class, I think unique class, working up to legendary class, equipment right now reliably, which is just utterly and completely insane. Yeah, Xian has something planned for the festival too, which I am very much looking forward to. I've complained before, like, oh, there's such a slow volume, but when you really think about what gets done in volume 8 and 9, what they show off, it's gonna look so absolutely amazing animated, and I'm very excited for it. Yeah, Rimuru has every right to be absolutely and utterly terrified over whatever it is she's planning. He also has every right to be terrified over what Veldora is planning. Yep, Veldora wants to open up a food booth and serve people food at the festival. Oh, there are literally a million ways that can go wrong, and I love it. Oh, interesting. I know where they're going with this, I just wasn't expecting it. Very curious. I mean, like I've already said before, like they're really doing more of a show don't tell in this episode so far, and they're really emphasizing that. I mean, what we're about to see is something that was mentioned offhandedly by a mostly unrelated character in a whole different meeting, and now it's going to be an entire scene. Very, very cool. I like that. Oh, that's cool. I mean, I'm just going over, oh, how much they've grown, how much they've changed. That's literally the opening of them building up a freaking country in the span of, again, I think it's only been like 3 years since Rimuru first, came out of the cave, since Rimuru was first born into this world. Oh, with everyone with their black coats. Oh, they look so cool. They look absolutely freaking awesome. Oh, the Colosseum. I love those blueprints. Oh, that is so awesome. Oh my god, I love that thing. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh god, I love that little guy so much. Oh, I forgot he's in this arc too. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, right. Those four. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Light novels readers know exactly what I'm talking about, but I'm so excited for all of this. It's one of the coolest aspects of the series. Oh, King of Blumend, King of Falmus. Oh, that's his son, by the way, or that's the son of the previous king. I think his name's Edward. Oh, it's gonna be so absolutely awesome to see. Oh God. Oh god above. Yeah, that right there is something I'm very excited to see the anime people react to. Oh, especially. Oh, there's so much detail in this opening. I love it. And that's the, food booth that Veldora wanted to open. Oh, Maribel the Greedy. She's there too. That's gonna be awesome. I love her so much in this part of the light novel. Oh, it's him! Lightspeed hero Masayuki! Oh god, he is without a doubt one of my favorite characters in this series. I'm so excited to see him animated. God, he's so intense. Oh, and the kids too. King Rimuru. Okay, that was fantastic. That was absolutely fantastic as an opening. Music was decent, but just so many visuals, so much that I'm so excited to see in this upcoming, second half of this season. Oh my god, I can't wait. Yoshida! Huzzah! Okay, so this is Yoshida. He is an Otherworlder. Was he mentioned in Season 1? He might have been. Anyway, he is the Otherworlder who is a master pastry chef. It doesn't seem like he has any special, unique skills or abilities, but he was such a good chef, back in his own world, back on Earth, that when he came to this world and started cooking, he literally, got the protection of everyone. The Free Guild, the church, the nation itself. They're all like, yeah, we're going to do whatever you want. Just keep cooking and keep making us these delicious foods. It's actually even said that it is believed, that Hinata sneaks in after closing to get some special pastries without, attracting a crowd. And in what should have been the first season of Light Novel, I'm not sure if we actually saw that, Ranga actually went to this dude to pick up Rimuru's food, his pastries for his class. And it is such an absolutely adorable scene. Anyway, yeah, so right now Rimuru is trying to convince Yoshida to come to Tempest, at least for the festival, to help give them some support, to help make some delicious foods and pastries. And he already does have a strong relationship with Yoshida because he's been giving him, special ingredients that he can't get anywhere else, meaning that the range of pastries that this dude has been able to cook has gone up tenfold. And he's very excited about that.
この人は吉田さん。
Yeah, exactly. As much as Rimuru has helped him out, other people have helped him out even more over the years. They've all supported him. They've all, had his back. He can't just, up and abandon all of them to come work in Tempest, even if it's a much better environment for him to cook and experiment in. Yes, this is the reason why Shuna came. She really wants to win him over. Of course, he was absolutely charmed by Shuna because really, who wouldn't be? Yep, she literally made the simplest dish in the world, an egg omelet. But according to the light novel, the amount of skill a chef has can be seen most clearly in a dish like this, as the better it is, the better the chef is. I don't really understand that, but I'm also, by no means a chef. I have a microwave, and I just got a toaster oven, which I absolutely love. There we go. That is... good lord. I know foodgasms are kind of like a trope in anime now, but this is something else right here. Holy mother of God above. Okay, so now we get to Molly, and this is a time where I need to rant, because Molly is without a doubt the biggest victim of the anime, and I will fight anyone in the comments who says otherwise. Because, we first saw Molly in the anime, like, he was holding Beard, his bodyguard, his own background story, whatever, and, like, crying, like, I don't want to die, I don't want to die. No, absolutely freaking no. In the light novel, after the Sky Dragon's first attack, he freely handed out high potions that he bought from Tempest for quite a bit of money to everyone who was injured, saved a little girl and her mother, and then when the Sky Dragon showed back up, he told the little girl to run away while she could, saying, "Do not worry about me, for I am far too important to die in a place like this." What the freak? That energy, that Chad energy is absolutely insane, and I love it. And then Rimuru saved him, and he's been eternally loyal to him ever since. And then his second big moment in the light novel, this is mostly cut out from the anime. After Falmouth attacked, Molly, rallied up all the remaining merchants in town, went to Rimuru and said, "Hey, man, all our supplies, all our goods, everything we have, we are freely giving them to you to help in this war against Falmouth, because we know you're the good guys. We know you were attacked one-sidedly. Will this make us an enemy of the church and the entire West? Maybe, but we want to support you." That is who Molly is right there. An absolute freaking Chad, and I love him. Anyway, right now, Molly is, dealing with people. This is something he does a lot whenever anyone says, "Oh, I have a money-making idea," they come to Molly. It's basically Shark Tank. And while 99% of the ideas are absolutely stupid or scams, Molly has a very special talent for sniffing out those 1% of ideas that could actually work, that could actually bring him a lot of money, so he has to do all these conversations by himself. Though this one will not bring him any money, because this dude right here is an absolute freaking moron. Literally one of the dumbest characters in this entire series. And that's saying a lot. He's actually come to Molly a few times before, try to offer, like, "Oh, look at these antiques," which, no, they were just junk, because the man is broke. And Molly knows that because, while the outfit he's wearing is nice, it's last year's fashion, meaning this dude doesn't have the money to buy, a new wardrobe in this year's fashion. But he is still a noble, meaning that Molly can't just say, no, get out, I'm not interested. He can't come off as rude, or he could end up being arrested for insulting a noble. And while Molly is incredibly powerful, known as the King of the Underworld, or King of the Dark Side of Blummin, something like that, he still needs to be somewhat respectful to nobles, even if they are complete and absolute morons, like this idiot right here.
それで本日のご用向きというのは
that smile. Oh, yeah, there's a dumb idea. That smile Molly has, like, oh, I'm not thinking you're an idiot. Let's have this nice, fun conversation. Yep, there we go. Also, slavery, very much illegal. So, yeah, this dude's like, I have this brilliant idea where I'm going to open up a shop. I don't really know what the shop's going to do or sell or anything. And I'm not going to have to pay my people because they're going to end up being slaves. Bad idea, for not only because it's illegal and absolutely immoral, but also because, you know, slaves aren't really motivated to work all that hard. So, yeah, dumb idea. Really, really dumb idea. I'm here to let you invest in this lucrative business. No, man, this is going absolutely nowhere. Yeah, that's another thing. Again, massively, massively morally wrong, but also he actually says in the light novel, I want hot, beautiful slaves. Oh, that sounds, yeah, I don't like actually having to say that, but that's what he says, and Molly's like, dude, do you have any idea how much attractive slaves are gonna set you back? I mean, you need to be making essentially a fortune every single day to be able to actually, you know, recoup your losses for this. And the plan's gonna get even stupider. Let's just wait. Again, Molly just can't insult the nobles, who is like, wow, you're so smart. I take my hat off to your wisdom. Not actually gonna take my hat off.
ですが、その肝心の奴隷も今では入手が難しいのではないですかな。おお、そのことだがな。ここだけの話、つてがあるのよ。奴隷はエルフ。
Yeah, no. While human slaves might be illegal, elf slaves are super insanely illegal, and only the biggest of the big criminal organizations actually work with them. So this dude's basically like, oh yeah, I just called up the Don of the Italian mob, and he promised to get me some slaves. Whereas Molly, he may be the gangster, but he's not messing with anything that freaking illegal. Yeah, he's terrified. As much as a merchant as he is, the thought of an elf slave is absolutely freaking terrifying for just what that will entail. Love that timing. But also, this dude's even stupider than that because his plan doesn't really have a plan to it. He doesn't have a location, he doesn't really know where the business is going to be, he doesn't really know, like, what are other businesses in the area, how much are they making, how much traffic they have, all of that. He's just like, oh, you're Molly, you can handle it on your own, I'm just going to get you some slaves. Such a bad plan, such an absolutely bad plan. Yes, this dude, Kazakh, just insulted a freaking demon lord. Of course, Rimuru is really good at hiding his, aura and all that, so he comes off as completely human, and this dude doesn't know it, but still, the name Rimuru is actually pretty famous, so he should at least be a little bit wary of that, but instead, he's gonna do something really, really stupid, and I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, the whole crisis was, I'm literally at war with the church, the biggest organization in the world, but don't worry, I handled that. There we go! There we freaking go! Holy mother of God, I love this. This was in the manga. I didn't think they include in the anime too. Oh my God, it's beautiful. I actually want this poster. I seriously want it. Because if you're wondering what this is, yeah, that is Rimuru saving Molly from the Sky Dragon. This is how Molly's basically interpreted as Rimuru being a basic god and that Sky Dragon being a complete and absolute monster. God, I love this painting so much.
おい小僧、いや小娘か。勝手に中まで入ってきて盗み聞きした上に商談を邪魔するなどとこの責任をどう取る
Yep, so like I said, this dude, crazy disrespectful to a demon lord. And it still gets worse.
つもりだ。
そいつはどうも失礼しました。ほんとすみません。
Of course, Rimuru was humble enough, like, oh, I'm not gonna bother. I'm just gonna apologize to this idiot, move on.
おお、貴様の顔はまあまあ
Yep,
だな。
gets worse.
おいカザック。礼儀は大切だ。
Holy mother of God. So, yeah, right now, Kazakh assumes that Rimuru is Molly's mistress, because Rimuru does look like a girl, because Rimuru has a girl's face, and so he's basically saying, why don't you become my mistress? He just proposed that a demon lord become his mistress, that this demon lord sleeps with him. Oh, holy mother of God. It is so good that literally no one else from Tempest is with Rimuru right now, or they would straight up murder this man. Like, seriously, he'd be dead before he even finished that sentence.
なんならこの我が輩が面倒を見てやってもいいぞ。わしの恩人に無礼を働いておるのは貴様の方よ。
Yeah, so while Molly has to be, polite to nobles or he could be arrested, there is a limit, and he is absolutely 100% loyal to Rimuru.
たかが子爵の分際でこのわしを怒らせるつもりか。
A mere Viscount. Could a mere Viscount get away with angering me? Dude, a Viscount is a fairly high ranking in a fairly small country with fairly few nobles. God, I love Molly.
何
There we go. There we go. Actually kicked him out of the office. That's beautiful. Also, this dude right here, that's Beard. He was the one that Molly was hugging when the Sky Dragon attacked him in the anime. And in the light novel, they actually had a really interesting story. Basically, when Rimuru first, went in Gracia, he didn't go by himself. He went with the adventuring trio to actually get to the experience of what it's like to be an adventurer. He ventures an adventure. And one of the things he found was this dude right here, basically saying, I took down a horned bear. And then Rimuru looked at the skin, and he's like, yeah, that's just a regular bear that you stuck a horn on. So he was a scam artist trying to, earn himself some free meals and a free place to stay. Rimuru called him out on that. He got embarrassed and decided to get an actually decent job bodyguarding, serving as a bodyguard for Molly. And then after the Sky Dragon incident, they basically, they're like, yeah, you're my bro. We're in this to the end. Even though he's only like a C rank adventurer, C rank in strength or whatever.
引きはこれまでにさせてもらおう。ああ、たかが商人が貴族に逆らうなど。犯罪組織と手を組むような疫病神にはとっととお引き取り願いましょうか。
I love that. Absolutely love that. Molly's a savage, seriously. Also, he's not an idiot. Molly does actually have the authority and power to stand up to a noble. He could get arrested for it, but he has enough connections where that is less than likely. Especially if he tells the king, yeah, he tried to have sex with a demon lord in my office. I think after that, the king's gonna be like, yeah, you know what? Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. You did the exact right thing there. Oh, I love Molly. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, that is so freaking beautiful. I'm so glad. I'm so glad they included that in the anime. This is absolute and utter perfection right here.
これでもわしも
Yes, the king of the Dark City. He basically runs the underworld in Blumend. It's a small nation, small underworld, but he has a lot of authority and sway over it.
暗黒街のドンと呼ばれた男。
いや何また一つお仕事を依頼したいと思ってね。
おほう、また新しい思いつきで。
Yeah, Rimuru's ideas are always insane, always cost a lot of money, and always make him a freaking fortune.
かな。
That's another thing that's interesting. Rimuru has these side projects basically because he wants to be able to have his own money to play with and have fun with. Yes, he is, technically the king of Tempest, but he doesn't actually believe in taking any of the money from Tempest for himself because, that's everyone worked for that money. It'd be hurting the nation if he took it just to have fun and splurge on his own. So Rimuru has a system where he basically goes to Molly and says, hey, I have this awesome idea for a project. Here's some money, get it done. Molly invests his own money. Molly does some work. And then Molly makes an absolute freaking fortune. Rimuru gets a cut, and then he has as much money to play with as he wants. Huzzah!
など持ち込む仕事はとても面白いですが、毎度毎度準備が大変なんですよ。
ファストフード店展開計画。
Yes, Rimuru has invented fast food and brought it to this world. He is currently in the midst of trying to start a burger chain across the entire West. Oh, that is so absolutely insane, and I love it.
まさに。
そういうのよミョルマイル君。君に任せているその計画だがね、頼もしいね。それじゃあ。
Oh my god. So yeah, they have staff that can. That's a big thing with fast food chains. They're supposed to be uniform. Like you can go from New York to California, go to McDonald's in each location, ask for a burger, and it tastes like a McDonald's burger. That's what you want from fast food. That sense of comfort. That sense of yes, I know what this is and I like it. So that's basically what he's doing here, making sure that every fast food burger location he opens up all across the West will all have the same quality, will all have food that tastes the same.
バーガー、ポテトフライ。
入るかと、まあ一緒にライスボールを出せば。
Seriously, is this where they were saving the budget for? Because rather than just meetings, these are meetings with dancing food all around them. That is so much livelier, that's so much more fun, that's so much more engaging. This is such an improvement.
売れ行きが伸びるのは間違いないでしょ。現在20店舗まで。
20 locations. He's gonna have 20 fast food locations in the world. That is insane.
開できるように考えておりました。
一番腕のいいものを5名用意してくれるかな。
5名
Oh, this is gonna be a fun conversation. Molly is an incredibly calm person who's able to, go with the flow with most things, but this conversation. Oh, Molly, I don't think you're ready for it.
何をさせるつもりで？
実はさ、俺の友達に
Yes, that Veldora, the freaking storm dragon.
ベルドラってやつがいるんだけどね。
ベルドラ。
そいつがさ、鉄板焼きの店を出すって息巻いてるんだよね。
Yeah, because it's it's a well-known secret that Veldora is in Tempest and that Rimuru trained him. Basically calmed him down and convinced him not to go on a mass killing spree. I don't think it's well known that Veldora has a human form, so I think Molly right now is imagining a giant dragon making fast food. And that is a hilarious visual. Yeah, even that's enough to make this, man sweat.
そいつだけに店を任せると不安だろ？
Yes, of course I'd be concerned about letting the storm dragon run a booth by himself.
だからね、ミョルマイル君。一番腕のいい5名でベルドラを助けてやってほしいんだよ。
手伝わせるものだ。
Yeah, basically, are you sure they won't die? Are you sure Veldora won't eat them? Or that just, being in his presence won't kill them?
の安全面は大丈夫なのですかな？
もちろんだと思う。
I mean, Veldora is literally the biggest threat in the entire world. Yeah, he actually is the biggest threat in the entire world, wow. I mean, he has sisters, but, they're calm. They never, rampage out of control. So Veldora is the thing I think the world is most afraid of.
あいつがわがままを言うよ。
名乗ってくださるなら。
それだよミョルマイル君。あいつには正体。
Yeah, that's actually insane because I'm fairly certain it was said that monsters would never use a fake name because, they value their names. Their names are something that was given to them and something they take great pride in. So for Veldora to call himself something else would be insane. Of course, he is a storm dragon, so he's not, the typical monster, but still, that's very unusual.
悟られぬように偽名を名乗らせるようにしよう。
そんなことができるんですか？
なに？
ビルドラ様だと。封印が解けた。
Oh my god, I was not expecting that internal scream. I mean, like I said, this man can keep a calm, tranquil smile, so much so that no one knows what he's really thinking.
が解けたというのは聞いておったが、まさかわしが相手をすることになるとは。やれやれ。わしはあの時、
I already died back then on that day, so yeah, like I said, absolutely and completely loyal to Rimuru.
死んだ。リムルの旦那に救われた。
Also, there's something different about the animation in this episode. Rimuru looks a bit more like it does in Slime Diaries, like a little bit simpler maybe, but the animation is stronger, so I don't mind it. It's interesting though. Please let me know if you think the same thing down below. Am I just going crazy, or does Rimuru's style look a little bit different?
国として目玉が欲しいなって思っててさ。
That is the big issue, because right now Tempest, well, it's a nation run by monsters, which on its own is a huge thing. Like, oh, I gotta see this. I gotta see what this place is actually like. It's also probably the most advanced city in the world, or, yeah, well, most advanced city in the West, at least. There's the fact that, they have, like, hot springs, they have baths, they have spas, they have all these amazing things, but they're missing that thing, that main attraction that really draws people in, that draws both commoner and noble alike into Tempest.
甘いなミョルマイル君。
You aren't thinking big enough, Molly. Yeah, that's Rimuru. He's always thinking 20 steps down the road, and yet somehow never actually plotting out like the first 3 steps. Oh, I love him.
だけではちょっと弱いと思う。ジュラの森で
Oh, I love this. Seriously. They're still there, the chairs, while... Oh, that is so cool. It's so cool.
月の観光旅行とか。渓流での釣り大会。
持て余しておる貴族どもの興味も。
Seriously, this episode, the visuals for it, just the amount of work they're putting into it, is so far above and beyond what we saw with the meetings for the first half of the season. Why did they suddenly get the budget jump right now? Oh, I love it.
しかし、競技場で開催される武闘大会というのが。
あれだろ勇者正幸というのが大
Masayuki! Oh, Rimuru, you're gonna regret saying that name. You really are.
そうです、そうです。先行の2つ名を持つ正幸様が武闘大会の覇者なんですよ。
Yeah, Molly is basically this world's equivalent of a super fan for Masayuki. And he rants about him for quite a while.
私も大ファンなんです。勇者正幸について語りますか？
Rimuru doesn't, but you're still going to.
わしに語らせますか？覚悟はできておりますな。
町の区画に空きはあるから歌劇場を用意するのは
I feel like it's important to mention, the festival is in 2 months. 2 months' time, and Rimuru just announced they're going to build an opera house in that period. Oh, Rimuru, you are honestly insane, and what's even more insane is that your people can't actually get it done.
劇作家になりたいものが生まれるかもしれないし、そうすれば新しい娯楽にもつながる。そして闘技場か。
The arena, holy mother of God, the arena.
会を開催するから、その
Can you arrange a battle festival for me? That is such an insane ask, more insane than anything he's ever asked before. But, Molly is a huge fan of the battle events in Ingracia, so yeah, he's gonna want to be part of this.
会を君に任せたい。
待ってくださいよ旦那。そんな重要な話を突然言われても。
Yes, he absolutely can. That's what it means to be Rimuru. To be able to say, I'm going to build an opera house and an arena in 2 months, and it will get done.
収益は見込めないだろ。
大衆ですか？
Yeah, right now in Ingracia, the battle festival, the arena, is only really open for the upper class, those who can actually afford a ticket. But Rimuru has a much, much larger plan in mind to make this something for the common man, as well as nobles.
5万人くらい収容できるコロッセオを用意するつもり。
Yes, like I said, a coliseum for 50,000 people, which he's gonna build in 2 months. If I remember correctly, yeah, the one in Gracia can hold about 10,000 people, so that's, quite a big jump up.
5万人。ぶっ飛んでしか言いようが。
Seriously, they're doing so much good with visuals this episode. What the
5万
freak?
人と言ったらイングラシアのコロッセオの5倍はあるぞ。
立ち見席も用意して入場料はタダにしよう。
Yeah, so basically, for the peasants, for the farmers, for the adventurers, there's going to be standing room only, which makes up most of the temple. But then if you're a bit more well off, you can reserve a private seat. And then if you are really freaking well off, like a high noble or a king or whatever, you can reserve your own little private box to watch the show from, where you'll be safe with all your bodyguards.
金持ちからは指定席に案内して入場料を取る。金に糸目をつけない貴族なんかは忌避。
Rimuru even says that, the free sections are going to be so cramped and standing only that they'll actually encourage people to buy the VIP seats, because that way they are not only guaranteed a seat, but can actually sit down and really enjoy the show.
だな。
となると街道上の宿屋も潤う。テンペストの料理や露天と。
So basically, the arena, the main focus of it is to bring people to Tempest, which also means they're going to go to the inns along the highway, which means they're actually going to spend time in Tempest, having their food, trying out their baths, all of that. The arena is basically designed to bring people to Tempest. It's designed to make them come here and spend their money.
なんかの宣伝にもなる。であれば闘技場の運営だけで利益を出す必要もないわけで。さすがは旦那。最初から全て計算づくでしたじゃん。
No, absolutely freaking no. Rimuru literally wings basically everything and still manages to make it work simply because he's a demon lord and has almost limitless power.
まあ当然そうだと思う。
Yeah, absolutely came with it on the fly. In fact, this goes back and forth as they keep, discussing, oh, we can do this, we can do this. And Ellie's like, oh, I'm sure you already thought of that. Rimuru is like, yes, I did. I absolutely saw that. I absolutely thought of that.
さっき思いついたんだけど。さすがだな。そこまで俺の考えを理解する。
Again, Molly is, is looking way too deeply into this and assuming Rimuru has this big, grand plan. Rimuru thinks very far ahead, but he just doesn't look right in front of him. He just assumes it'll all work out. Which it always does, because he surrounds himself with the smartest and best people in the world.
やはりミョルマイル君、この。
ご安心を。このミョルマイル、金。
I love these two. Absolutely love these two. Oh, they are the best pair in this series. Wait. Well, Rimuru and Ranga, but okay, they're like the second best pair in this series.
感情は得意分野にございます。
ただちょっと僕のか。
Rimuru is such a bluffer, and it just works for him because he has, Raphael basically controlling his facial expressions to make sure he doesn't give anything away.
前と違うところがないか確認したらいいね。
やってやる。やってみせますわい。わし。
There's so much money to be made from this entire process, and Molly couldn't be more excited to be part of it.
商人魂が大儲けの予感を。
もしよかったらだけ。
Now comes the bombshell, the actual bombshell. Oh, this is gonna be fun. I'm not sure if Rimuru really planned this out ahead of time, but it's a very, very smart decision to make here.
この大会が成功したらうちに来ない？
え？
商業部門か広報部門。
Yeah, I think he just comes to that on the spot because he doesn't really even know what the term is going to be. Basically, he's saying, come to Tempest and be my finance minister. Be in charge of my finances. Because right now, Shuna does all the book work And she's smart, don't get me wrong. But she is an ogre who never really got much of a formal education before a few months ago, so yeah, this might be a bit beyond her. Oh, I'm so excited.
チーム総括部門とかでもいいかも。まあ名目は何でもいいんだけどさ、そこの責任者を君に任せたいんだよ。
Especially because, also, let's not forget, monsters don't really have a concept of money. It's still kind of foreign to them. That's why we saw, Hinata, when she was coming to Tempest, there were humans and monsters working together, because humans had to explain to the monsters how money worked. They had to train them on that. So, yeah, it's a lot for her. It's a lot for her to try and just handle everything on her own. I mean, some people do help her, but it's of rather small departments.
わしに叶いませんな、旦那。いや、リムル様。
Yeah, great Rimuru. Rimuru-sama, now that he's his boss.
このミョルマイル、何は何でもこの旅の企画を成功。
He is so absolutely thrilled about this, seriously.
リムル様の進化に
Loyalty, utter and complete loyalty to him.
加わりたいと存じますぞ。
Which, seriously, that kneeling like that could not be good for this dude's back. He's getting up there in years.
大げさだな、ミョルマイル君。
Not an exaggeration, not at all. He's just literally that loyal to you.
ふんふんふんふんふんふん。あとはここだな。よーっす。遊びに来たよ。
Just bust in to see the guild master. Why not? There's actually a really funny scene leading up to this where Rimuru, first goes to the reception desk and everyone's like, who's this little girl? What, they're a B-plus adventurer? And then the receptionist's like, wow, it must be hard for you, Rimuru, having the same name as the Demon Lord. I can change your name if you want in the system. Oh, it's amazing.
ついさっきまでは平和だったんだが、突然魔王が。
Yeah, seriously, Foos. We have not seen this dude since start of season 2. Yeah, he was there. Oh, yeah, he was there to help Rimuru take out the Falmus army, only to find out that Rimuru had already killed all of them. That was a funny conversation. I like that. Anyway, yeah, so he's not a bad guy, but a demon lord popping into his office, even just into his country, is kind of stressful for him.
現れましてね。
マジでやばいじゃん。
In fact, Rimuru didn't even realize that when he said Demon Lord, he was talking about him.
リムル殿。
And then he asked him for cake, which, yeah, this dude absolutely cannot afford cake.
今回はすまなかった。西方聖教会への働きかけがうまくいかず。
Oh, yeah, that was another thing. He was actually trying to hold back Hinata, trying to convince the church not to go after Rimuru, saying he's such a great guy, he's good, he's kind, all that. But his messages never got through because, well, the Seventh-day Clergy were blocking them.
結局はクルセイダーズが動く状況になっちまって。
いや、それは仕方なかったと。
That is also important because let's not forget, they signed a treaty back and forth basically saying if one of us is invaded, the other one will come and support us. And technically, Tempest was invaded by the Crusaders and Blummin didn't come to support them. They did try to stop them, so you could say they, fulfilled the bare minimum requirements there.
おや、どうも必要の労使とかいう奴らが黒幕だ。
Yeah, just dropping the back, the Seven-day Clergy, the legendary heroes of the old, are actually the bad guys here. Why not?
ぽいし。だからどれだけ俺た。
Also, I'm just now realizing, this whole thing, these conversations, these meetings, had to have happened, literally a day or two after, Hinata left, because, seriously, every journalist in the world was there. They're all gonna go back to their home nations and report what they saw, so the fact that, news hasn't reached this dude right now, who is fairly high-ranking in the country, is actually pretty important.
偉大なる英雄だった。
You can actually see the light leaving his eyes. It's beautiful.
方々が。はあ、待ってくださいよ。
Yeah, I mean, he might not be someone all that important, but he did come to Rimuru's aid when Falmus was attacking him, so, I mean, he's a good guy. He can be part of this festival. Also, it's a very, very large festival with a lot of people invited.
殿、俺なんかが参加しても。
いいじゃないか。ブルムンド王への招待状もあるから、それも届け。
Yeah, not really easy for Rimuru to go to the King of Blummin himself to hand over an invitation. That might cause some issues, since he's a freaking demon lord.
てや魔王が直接出向くのはまずいだろ。
ここに魔王が来た時点
Yeah, bad enough that there is a demon lord in the nation at all. That's pretty concerning.
十分やばいですよ。そうそう、リムル殿のことをグランドマスター
Yeah, good old Yuki was so concerned about you. Again, this point in the light novel, it wasn't really clear if Yuki was a bad guy or not, if he was the boy leading the jesters and everyone else.
しておられました。
お、勇気が？
西方聖教会との交渉でも骨を折ってくれて
Oh, I'm sure he did. He tried so hard to negotiate with the church. He must have put in so much effort.
ので、無事に問題が片付いたと伝えておきますよ。
それと開国祭には
God, what a bombshell to drop. Malim will be coming to the festival. Good lord. Love that.
ミリム
Yes, that Malim. Malim the Destroyer. Malim the uncontrollable demon lord.
そこ
じゃあそういうことだから
Oh, that was mean. That was so mean of you.
まさか魔王ミリムではないでしょうなって
さて
Just walking away. Absolutely a true freaking demon lord right
あ
here.
とは開催日に間に合うように準備を整えるだけだな。
Alright, so we're ending things. Interesting. So the anime, at least for now, did skip over two of the invites going out. I'm not sure if we'll end up seeing those later or not, because, I mean, they were in the opening, so curious, very curious. Also, not sure if they're going to show the next thing either. I'm not going to mention it right now. Just there's two scenes with Molly. One of them is him basically going to like his people and saying, "I'm moving to Tempest," and all of that, which is a really fun scene. He actually says, "Oh, let me find the quote because I love that so much." Despite being one of the world's largest merchants, he says, "Everything before now was like selling pencils on the street corner compared to what I'm going to be doing next," which, I mean, yeah, Rimuru basically said, "I'm going to put you in charge of my entire economy, of all my finances, and I, by the way, have one of the largest, I'm one of the largest and richest nations in the entire world." That is such an insane thing to drop into Molly's lap. I mean, like, he got down on his knees, he, like, swore allegiance to Rimuru, but he's not joking. This is a huge opportunity, and he's incredibly grateful for it. There's also one scene after that with Rimuru, which I won't talk about now because we might get next episode, and does introduce a character who I really do like and want to talk about too. Alright. Anyway, then we get the closing. Ooh, very modern. Oh, God, I love Shuna. Such a good look for Shuna. That's adorable. Alright, so this is like modern, Shuna in the modern world, basically. Ooh. Glasses, very professional looking. Ooh, jackets. Alright, so next episode, the nations and the invitation. So I guess the two scenes they cut out from this episode will be in next episode. That does make sense. Also, yeah, as you might imagine, some nations have a bit of an issue when a demon lord sends them a letter saying, "Hey, come to my coronation. This is absolutely not a trap." Oh, I can't wait for that. Anyway, though, this episode, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Yes, it was a meeting, but it felt so much more alive and visual than the meetings we had before, the back and forth. Molly basically literally kicking that noble out of his room. That was awesome. The dancing food, the flashes to the cooking, the flashes to the hunting, and the fishing and everything. It just felt so dynamic. It felt so alive, and I loved it. Also, Molly is a fantastic character. I'm so glad we're finally getting a scene where we really see him as he is. As just an absolute Chad, a great businessman, and a true friend to Rimuru, with this giant painting behind him. God, I love this painting. But, alright, please think down below. What do you think of this episode? Do you think it's an improvement over the first half of the season? It really does feel better to me. It really does feel like we've gotten more of a budget for these episodes. I mean, I know this part of the season is going to be less combat focused than the previous ones, and maybe they can, assign things better, but still, this was fantastic. I loved it. What do you think's happen next? What do you think of Molly? What do you think people are going to do when they get the invitations from a demon lord? and just what's going to happen next. Let me know what you think about all this down below. And until next time, peace!